February the 1st, 2011, a rainy evening right here, while celebrating the transfer of title of this magnificent lady, I said this: what is this ship? She is nothing less than the living symbol of the genius, ingenuity, strength, and values living daily in the American experiment and in the American people. I stand by those words. This day is, for anyone with a heart, understandably fraught with emotion, sadness, resignation, and indeed pain for us at the Conservancy, and well-deserved anticipation, excitement, and joy for you, our new friends from Okaloosa County. We have journeyed to this place together and optimistically look with constancy toward a future together dedicated to preserving the greatness of Our Lady in the American psyche forever. 70 years ago, William Francis Gibbs, son of Philadelphia, and the greatest naval architect arguably of all time, presented the nation with the equivalent of the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, and the Golden Gate Bridge. And we are sitting on her. 990 feet, longer than Titanic, faster than any ocean liner ever built, then or since, using only 2/3 power, steaming at an average of 36 knots or 41 miles an hour, this magnificent lady smashed the transatlantic speed record on her maiden voyage, from New York to Southampton, winning the blue ribbon in the jaw-dropping time of 3 days, 10 hours, and 40 minutes. Oh, and by the way, she broke the record coming back as well. Yes, my darling, why are you smiling? We do remember. We do remember. And oh, let us not forget, at the height of the Cold War, with children huddling under desks during nuclear bomb drills, she could transport a division, 14,000 troops, anywhere in the world in less than 10 days without refueling. But she never had to. No, she instead carried over 1 million joyous passengers, celebrity, royalty, immigrant, and tourist for 17 years without one single nautical or engineering mishap. Can those pesky jets up there, which put her out of business, claim the same? Good morning, Mr. President and Mrs. Truman. Are you enjoying this lovely day? Good morning, Your Royal Highnesses. Grand day for a sea voyage, don't you agree? Good afternoon, Mr. Disney. Good afternoon, Miss Monroe, Mr. Brando. Shall we see you at the captain's table this evening? Wonderful. And what do I hear? Why, yes, it's the ship's orchestra in the grand ballroom, warming up for an evening of drinking and dancing with a moonlight walk on deck under the stars as Big U slashes through the waves. She weathered all the storms hurled at her during her long years of flawless service, but worse storm and tumult lay ahead for this magnificent Queen of the Seas. Unceremoniously retired, sold and towed hither and yon across the globe, being stripped of her iconic and sumptuous interiors and furnishings, she washed up, figuratively, thank God, at this unprepossessing and, dare I say, rather unpleasant pier. No more 16 brands of champagne, no more 49 brands of scotch, no more fresh Russian caviar, no more lobster United States. Oh, we here know too well the next chapters in the story of our champion of the seas. What is to become of her, we asked at the time. The scrappers, like carrion birds, are circling, eager to cut her up, destroy her, and pocket a few pieces of silver. The developers, floundering with design and financing, came so close, but to no avail. No new home berth for her while the landlord threatens eviction. Can this be the end? Enter Jerry Lenfest. Hi, Jerry. I see you up there smiling. In 2011, he rowed or sailed more aptly to the rescue and granted the funds so the Conservancy could purchase the vessel and try a new beginning. So for 13 years, our indomitable president, Susan Gibbs, dedicated herself to the Herculean task of saving this majestic marvel. And Susan, you have done it. I know saving is a relative term in our SSUS world, but in a real sense, the credit belongs to you for not letting our national symbol of pride and patriotism suffer further indignity. Susan, your grandfather, who was no nonsense, is sending a message. The ship telegraph just decoded it. He said, "Granddaughter, you weathered the storms, you gave her your all, you have done well, and I love you. And as for you, you beautiful lady, as of today we can tell you that you will not be lost, you will not be forgotten, you will no longer be neglected and abused. You will be rightly honored, cherished, and loved in a new home and in a new dimension. You will no longer be sailing the seas, but you will be surrounded and caressed by them. For after all, you are of the seas. Your mighty engines are silenced, the orchestras will not be playing, but joy, wonder, and awe will be for all those who experience you in your new home. The United States emblazoned on your bow and stern will live forever in the clear waters of Florida. You have suffered your last indignity and insult, and you are, my dear, retiring to Florida, like so many of us would so love to do. So bon voyage, you grand lady, and Godspeed. Oh, ship of state, we salute you."
Thank you so much, Judge. That was so moving and so powerful and expressed so brilliantly what so many of us are feeling. I also would like to thank my fellow board members, David Lawrence and Warren Jones, who have come from Michigan and Virginia to be on hand for this moment. And of course, delighted to welcome the team from Okaloosa County here to the ship. As you know, we are gathered here today because the SS United States Conservancy and Penn Warehousing, the operator of this pier, have settled our dispute in a court-ordered mediation, and this settlement includes transferring title of the ship to Florida's Okaloosa County. And I will now read our prepared statement. In the long and storied history of America's flagship, these last 2 years have perhaps been the most difficult. The legal dispute over the ship's dockage here at this pier drastically impacted our plans for the ship's future. Because of the court proceeding, we had a very limited time to find a new home for the SS United States. Despite intensive outreach to private pier owners, to government agencies, elected officials, and public entities, public authorities at the local, state, and federal levels, an effort that began well before Penn Warehousing and sued the Conservancy in early 2022. Alas, no suitable and available location was secured within the mandated schedule. While we vetted various proposals to purchase and relocate the ship, none satisfied our due diligence or proved viable within our current timetable and logistical constraints. Last year, we unveiled a full redevelopment plan for the SS United States that would have transformed her into a privately funded, permanently moored, mixed-use destination and economic engine. After 5 years of intensive planning and investment, we demonstrated with our development partners that the ship could create thousands of jobs and generate millions in economic revenue. But the difficulty of securing the planned pier location and the unwillingness of government entities to prioritize the project prevented this exciting plan from being launched. Unable to save the SS United States in her current state and under a binding court order, we faced the painful but unavoidable choice between scrapping America's flagship or converting her into an artificial reef in tandem with a land-based museum. We chose the latter as the most dignified path. We understand that this decision is deeply challenging and emotional for our community of supporters, as it certainly is for me and our entire board of directors, many of whom have been working to save and redevelop the ship for over a decade. We are profoundly grateful for the support we have received from across the country and around the world. While this is not the outcome we originally envisaged, the ship will have a future. This next chapter of the SS United States story will bring tens of thousands of people annually from around the world to experience her. Okaloosa County has now allocated more than $10 million to reactivate the SS United States as the world's largest artificial reef in tandem with the Conservancy's land-based museum and visitor center. Once the ship is deployed, more people will be able to visit and learn about her over the course of a year than have had that opportunity since she retired from seagoing service more than a half-century ago. When we saved the SS United States from the scrapyard in 2011, the ship had been largely forgotten. With help from our supporters worldwide, we have brought the ship back into public consciousness. She has again become a soaring symbol of her namesake nation. And as our challenges mounted here at the ship's Philadelphia pier, we remained determined to prevent her from being lost to history. Looking ahead, we are committed to developing a state-of-the-art museum that will blend the latest technology with our expansive collections of original artifacts and artwork from the ship. These plans include incorporating one or both of her iconic funnels, radar mast, and detailed recreations of spaces using original materials. We are so excited about inviting Conservancy supporters to contribute ideas and their vision for the museum's creation and its revolving exhibits. More announcements will follow in the months and weeks ahead. As the Conservancy formally transfers title to the ship to Okaloosa County, in accordance with our contract and in compliance with the court ruling, the vessel will soon depart Philadelphia or Norfolk, where she will undergo extensive preparations for reefing over many months. Together, we will see the extraordinary story of the SS United States and her indomitable spirit continue to inspire and endure above and below the waterline. And it is now my great pleasure to pass it to Paul Mixum, who is the chairman of the Okaloosa County Board of County Commissioners.
Good afternoon. Grateful to be here. I'm joined today by our Deputy County Administrator, Craig Coffey, by our Natural Resources Chief, Alex Fogg, and by our Public Information Officer, Nick Tomilchek. You know, a few things to keep in mind. This ship is referred many times as the SS United States, the Big U, America's flagship. And what an opportunity we have in partnership to be able to keep that legacy going, to see a natural habitat for our marine life, to see a place where you can go and explore as you scuba dive in the Gulf of Mexico, but also for those of you that don't like to go on or in the water, an opportunity for a land-based museum, something that allows even your children to come and explore, your ADA compatible, an opportunity to see the artifacts that still exist. You know, this partnership between the Conservancy and Okaloosa County, it will allow for more people to learn about really the historically associated facts of the SS United States. Okaloosa County understands the passion of the supporters and the historical significance of the SS United States. The vessel broke records, as the judge mentioned, as the fastest ocean liner in the 1950s. She'll continue to break records as the world's largest artificial reef. And we're excited today to be here to join with you in anticipation of what the future holds in this partnership between Okaloosa County and the Conservancy as we bring this jewel to Northwest Florida for enjoyment. Thank you for coming today.
Susan and Mr. Chairman, if you could take some seats. we'll do the document signing. Folks with cameras, if you want to move up closer, we can do so at this time, or you can leave. You're good if you prefer to stay here.